Okay, this is a different version of the map, older version, I think. It involves a bit of Navy. Players are over here. Everyone's pretty good. They were all chatting overnight in the group chat, so I found this game and downloaded it to see what it's like. Hmm. Sorry about the audio. My microphone situation is just a headset, so there's a lot of poppy interference, unfortunately. Team one, we've got green, 211. Got red is back in action, 21. Teal, CNB. Don't know if this is the real CNB or the imitator. Don't really care either. Got Michael in purple, Bandit in blue, and William 2666 in yellow. Differences. This is narrower, quite narrow. The islands are a little bit different. Huge gap generators up there. No power plants here. Okay, interesting. Looks like there's just no option to build navy up north, and the AI ships have come in from the north. And down south, yeah, there's some open space. There's also these helicarriers that are high hit points. They don't do anything, but do make they do take some killing to get through. So it just does stop the initial naval battle from occurring. Yeah, we can see here now these guys getting into these power plants. Purple has set up a bit further back out of cruiser range in case he loses the naval battle. Looks like blue's just suffered from the dogs. Teal, yeah, is a little bit back, but maybe still in cruiser range. But he's got this building now. Purple, slow to get his engineers over there. I will be focused largely on this naval battle to begin with, because that's where everything interesting is going to happen. Otherwise, yeah, you can see same story as the other maps. Engineers, rockets, take care of the AA, switch to tanks ASAP, get your economy under control, and just start building a massive army. Yeah, there's red. Typical build order. It's just got low power, but that's all right. You'll get on top of that. Green, yeah, pretty typical. And teal, playing as allies, getting set up. One thing about doing navy is you really need your economy. The cruisers cost an incredible amount of money. That's been edited. Um, so they're hard to build, but then they're also have an incredible amount of hit points. So yeah, it's a bit of a risk reward there, but if you can get on top of your economy quickly and get building, um, yeah, you can really support that. Destroyers are the same though, so it is possible to win the early naval battle, maybe purely with destroyers, maybe only one or two cruisers, and then as you gain the upper hand, you can switch to more and more. Um, these ponds are also handy because you can. Oh, sounds like there's still some dogs. Yep, still some dogs doing their thing. I'll want to get on top of that before long. Saying you can pop a naval yard here, fill it with cruisers. That not only gives you an extra naval yard for build speed, but it is also just one more point of defence if you do get overrun in the middle. Um, and it also prevents It allows you to react because a nice trick is to chronosphere a cruiser in there. So you can see here, Teal starting on that one first, or second rather, but it is handy just to have an extra bit of production speed hidden from the front line. And you really are relying on your teammates there to try and protect that. A gap is always great if you can get it up, but yeah, it's just one of those things. You got to be really on top of your build order and your power and your economy. I can see purple there just having a little bit of a scout. Yellow's brought a few V2s along. That does help a lot. These destroyers, if they move up, they're all going to be within V2 range, so that just does help uh, deal with those ships in a naval battle. So Teal's got the production advantage at the moment. He's up to 4. Purple's only got the 2. But no one's really engaging yet. They're just working on these carriers just to open up the space. AI's just decided to come out and attack yellow. Red's just poking his nose in there. Yellow's going to lose those. He's got some more back here. He hasn't brought them up yet, though. And blue, yeah, he's started now, but he's only got the 1 war factory, and he needs to get cracking. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, purple has no war factory whatsoever. He's just 100% focused on his navy, which is a risk. Ideally, you'd at least have a couple. Just you definitely need the ore harvesters, but then having a few tanks, maybe a few artillery is useful for over here, so you can support yourself in this naval battle. As we see now, Teal's got his first cruiser out, so he can't see anything yet. There's a couple of gaps. No, take that back. There's a gap over here. There's nothing on the island, but he hasn't scouted through yet. But his cruisers, I mean, you roughly know where the naval yards have to go, so it's very possible to just force fire into the shroud and do some damage that way. Although for now it looks like that cruiser's just hitting some of these destroyers as the second one comes out. Purple's on his 3rd naval yard now. Doesn't have a tech center up yet, which Teal does. So yeah, Teal moving forward with his navy build. Still can't see anything. But his GPS is charging, so he'll get full vision in a couple of minutes. Fourth naval yard. Hasn't done the pond yet, so he's a bit behind the 8 ball here. Teal's up to 5 now. 3 cruisers. So I suspect this is Teal's battle to lose. Checking quickly. Yeah, green, few MiGs, few war factories. Red, few choppers, few war factories. He's got his economy under control. Green, still moving on that. Blue, couple of refineries. Now going, still only 2 war factories, couple of MiGs. Yellow, 4 war factories, couple of refineries, and also choppers. Blue really needs to be working harder on tanks, especially if purple's gone all in on navy. Because if they lose the navy, yeah, they're going to be well behind the game. Red, he's moved into the middle now, taking care of those the AI in there. Fourth cruiser out now, about to break through. Yeah, he's lost that fourth naval yard and just rebuilt it. Cruiser's just force firing. Red just okay, so the GPS is up. So yeah, Red's just brought his choppers over to investigate, but no real uh, outcome there. And as we see now, he's broken through, starting to try and get some destroyers forward to scout, which is done. An iron curtain's pretty handy here. Um, you can just send one forward because if you can just take out his naval yards, yeah, you've won the battle. Sticking with four cruisers is just spamming destroyers now that they've broken through. A few more V2s coming in from both teams to help. Let's just stick with what Teal can see. So his cruisers they're just attacking this helicarrier, which is fine, but they might be better off. You could even force fire one to each of like the mirror locations where you've built that. That alone can just take out most of his naval yards without any effort, and his destroyers can just do all the work of fighting the ships. And once the destroyers are dealt with, okay, spied down the bottom, then the cruisers can switch to V2s and kill them. Purple's pushing back a bit. Teal now has vision on these naval yards, and that's exactly what he's doing. The aim's not great, so he's going to have to force fire them, I think. Just so he's force fired here and managed to take that one out. He can see this one, although the shrouds, the gap generators covered it. He's in here again. Really should be targeting on that rock. That way the cruisers will hit. Yeah, see, he's selected them and hit that, but they're missing. There we go. He's figured that out now. Sixth naval yard up for Teal, right close to the front yard line. That's susceptible to V2s if he's not careful, but it does just help spawn closer to the battle. Some MiGs coming in now to help out. Although Teal's just slowly chipping away at these naval yards, really hurting the production of Purple here. He's hiding under the gap as best he can, but he hasn't built any of his own gaps. Got a lot of anti-air out, which is good. Okay, sorry, I tell a lie. He's doubled that gap there. You can start to build around and get gaps over here too, which is kind of what Teal started to do. But yeah, really, this is a lost cause for Purple, I think. He's just been spied in the middle of his gap generator, so they know where his MCV is. Some air coming in from red and blue. Blue's just taken that sea transport out. And red is targeting ships by the look of it. Yeah, red can't see much else. Ideal would be to hit the naval yards, but he can't see them. But every little bit helps in the early battle. You want to make sure you've got the middle well and truly covered, which yellow has done. And he's even moving his V2s forward a little bit. This team, yeah, Team 1's slow to bring the rest of their tanks forward, which they're now reacting. Blue, he's not, he's still only on 2. He's gone hard on the MiGs, but I don't know that that's going to work well in the late game for them. Teal moving in again with the destroyers down the bottom, getting some vision. They're getting destroyed by V2s, but what the cruisers really need to do is just find and once he's killed one, just keep force firing in that spot. As soon as a naval yard gets built there, it'll get it'll already be targeted. The cruisers will just be firing and they'll hit it no matter what. And that way it's a bit set and forget, and then you can just focus on your destroyers. It's moving forward now with a small force, including one cruiser, which is good. You can see the hit points here. So the destroyers are normal. They cost the same as normal and have the same hit points. Cruisers, though, have been buffed a lot. And now he's got vision on the first gap. So he really needs to get in there and destroy those for his colleagues' air to be any use. There we go. He's got both now. So hopefully he's got all his cruisers focused on them. There we go. There's one down. There's two down, and it's wide open now. So you would imagine these cruisers are just going to have a field day. Sure enough, naval yard's done. Second naval yard's just about to get targeted. That's gone. He's only got a handful of destroyers left. He's rebuilt this, but that'll disappear in one volley. You also want to be targeting these buildings as soon as you can. That just destroys the build radius, and that prevents any further naval yards coming out. Okay, what's happened here? He's lost his GPS. Let's see. Let's go back a few seconds and see what's happened. So focused on the naval battle. So he's got a bunch of air. Okay, he's got the one airfield, so he does have spy plane and paratroopers available to him. They've picked up on this pond and taken that out. But we'll just see what happens to this GPS, to his tech center. That does help too, because that not only you lose vision, but you do also lose the ability to build these cruisers. Looks like I've scanned back too far. Apologies for that. We'll just keep an eye on that. This is where yellow was pushing a little bit. Green and red have reacted to that. Neither team is getting through there. I hear a spy plane's ready. So yeah, again, just congesting this area, lining vehicles up definitely helps. Okay, so we've seen the spy plane come through from yellow. The gap has come straight back, so I don't know what he's targeted. That we didn't see the GPS tech center there, so curious as to how this plays. Although we see yellow is now airborne. Okay, their team got GPS, that's how. Yeah, and they've targeted their GPS straight away. So there we go, Purple's GPS is now up. So this is where we were. We'll just shove this on to highlight that again. Yellow can't see heaps, so he's just taking out what he can. Um, yeah, he's taking out some harvesters now, and then he's on that final uh, refinery. So blue teal now has no ore production and no GPS. So it'll be interesting to see how this battle develops. Purple's holding on. He is well behind it because teal does already have 4 cruisers out. Um, but now, look, he's got $1. He's going to have to stop everything, sell a bunch of stuff, build a refinery. Um, yeah, that's gonna take him out of the battle for a few minutes. Meanwhile, team two now getting on top of things. Purple, yeah, he's got that war factory up now. He's focused. He's built some extra harvesters. He's also getting some APCs, maybe for an engineer rush later, and then he's just got a few tanks. Not super helpful, but at the end of the day, every bit does help, and Purple can maybe focus on countering scouts or paratroopers with those. Yellow, meanwhile, he's built all the way to the middle, starting on some air defense there as well. Decent amount of tanks, although he should be bringing all of those forward as soon as he can. They could all stand to get their AA set up a bit better, spread their rockets out, build some more SAM sites and AA cannons. So C and B here. No refinery still. Don't know quite what their game is at the moment. Sounds like he's selling now. Cancelling a few buildings, selling a few buildings. He's still got these cruisers though, which is very potent. The destroyers, he can't, he'll lose those, but the cruisers, he can move them forward at least and still push the Navy. Get in here and scout. Get rid of the naval yards. Get rid of these V2s. Purple's gone the gunboat there for some reason. Maybe just the cheapest unit, or maybe just misclicked. Teal can see these buildings here now, so really should be focusing fire on them. The further he can push this build radius back, the better. Looks like he's trying there. I think they're missing. You can see the craters here. Yeah. So sometimes the cruisers just decide to be a little bit inaccurate, although they're always like reliably inaccurate. So you can walk that fire. Like if you targeted here, there we go. He's probably done that now, and he's walked that fire directly onto that building. Yeah, I mean one volley is enough to destroy any building with 4 cruisers. It's there we go. He's taken that silo out now. He doesn't quite know what else is around, but his cruisers are just auto firing on the V2s. They won't target. They won't target infantry by themselves, but they will target vehicles. I suspect that was just a wild guess into the shroud. Okay, he's got a refinery back up and running now, so he's slowly getting back into it. Team 2, meanwhile, are sensibly pushing the middle, while Team 1, while Teal was behind the 8 ball there for a few minutes. He's still strapped for cash. So's Yellow, though. Although Yellow does have 4 refineries, so Yellow is just building like nothing else at the moment. So yeah, bit of to and fro. See how this shakes out. Nice naval battle, but I'm pretty sure this is now Teal's. This is now Teal's area. That's just going to die. He could bring his destroyers up too now if he wanted. There we go. He's reacted to that. He can see this silo, so he should be targeting that as well. Um, yeah, he's done that now. And yeah, two refineries now, so he's back in it. I assume he'll probably build a GPS as soon as he can. This area is now just going to get cleared. Um, yeah, they're targeting those V2s now, just even though they can't see them. MiGs are busy, choppers are busy, not quite sure. It would be a good idea for Team 2, yeah, to use Yellow's choppers and try and take out Red's refineries, which are wide open, but these guys have probably needed to do that a minute or two ago. The middle is wide open now, and like, see, even Teal, even though he's been focused on Navy, has enough tanks here to at least hold the middle, if not push. Yellow's got a whole bunch of tanks back here, which is only realised now. These V2s aren't doing a single thing. Yeah, so good push by Yellow, but his team isn't with him. And Red might have a bit of time here. He sold that off to get rid of the air attack. Yellow, he's got full vision, although he's just let them land instead of targeting another building. They would have had ammunition, so that wasn't a great play. And yeah, he's sort of doomed here, and he's lost all his choppers and all his tanks, and he hasn't really done anything. He's caused a little bit of congestion, but Red's got some cash, and he'll get on top of that shortly. And yeah, with Teal arriving in the middle, now with a cruiser as well, Green's countering. Yeah, team 2 flew a bit too close to the sun there. C and B. So he doesn't have the GPS yet, still a bit strapped for cash. It does look like he is building cruisers, and he is bringing cruisers up here. So they're vulnerable to the V2s. There's no real way around that. That's one of the good parts of the map is, even though you've got these invulnerable cruisers, they're not invulnerable. In onesies and twosies, they're susceptible. But now he's bringing all of them up, and yeah, destroyer. He should really bring all his destroyers up too, and scatter a few down here. They're good for air defense and good for accurate tank targeting. The cruisers are good, but they're pretty inaccurate in a cluster of tanks. They'll do a lot of damage, but they'll hit your tanks as well. Whereas destroyers never miss. Yeah, he's just sort of manoeuvring these a little bit further away from Team 1's tanks. Well, Team 1 have recovered. They're on the counter now. Teal's lost all his tanks. So yeah, a bit of ebb and flow in this one, which is always fun to watch. Some MiGs inbound, not grouped together. Find out. Looks like he's after Red and war factories. Yeah. So that's a good move. Red has no war factories anymore. So even though he's got his refineries back up, he's got no tank production. Green, however, still streaming tanks along. So it's really up to Green now to hold the middle for a moment while Teal still is recovering. He's got a bit of a mess happening here. Tried to do too many harvesters. Really needs a third refinery. Couple of cruisers in here. Maybe a mistake, but maybe also a fallback position because that can cover most of Green's base and his own base if Team 2 gets in. Here we see an engineer rush attempt in an APC. Game just froze there, so I've just got it going. So yeah, basically where we were. This is the APC. So he's managed to sneak that through the middle there during the battle. Not sure if they've got an iron curtain on that side of the map, but sometimes that's a trick to get that one through. You can't chrono them. The engineers will die. So yeah, let's see. Not sure if they've reacted to this or not. Some MiGs there, just targeting down. Looks like maybe a war factory. Okay, they've seen that. MiGs inbound. The engineers have battled out, but they're, yeah, one died and a few hit points down. Green's onto this now. Yeah, he's just gonna. Yeah, he didn't even make it there. He was just after a refinery in the end, because that play fell apart. Although yellow coming in right behind, so this is good pressure. Timing could have been better, I guess, if the APC had run in now while everyone's distracted with this battle, that might have been effective. Yellow there, he's on a bit more on top of his choppers and he's retargeting them rather than let them fly home. He's had to sell that one. Should have enough ammunition left to take out this one. So yeah, no war factories and now no refineries. A little bit of cash if he's quick enough, although look how fast that's disappearing. Just from, I don't know, what's he building? Rockets and air. MiG's coming in too. So Red's absolutely just getting pounded here. Um, he needs to stop everything, get a refinery. Team 2 starting to move forward in a few numbers now. So these cruisers now are here and doing quite a bit of damage on hit points, but you know, if you're moving tanks constantly through there, you can get them through without dying. Just you don't want to let them stop because they will just get destroyed. And this is forced. You can see now on this side they have to wait further back and leave this gate open because of those cruisers. So while Team Two's been able to apply a little bit of pressure here, um, tactically, I guess strategically, with the naval battle lost, Team Two really needs to win now. Otherwise, yeah, if this turns into a long battle, then I really can't see them holding the middle. Yeah, it's just only got a handful of tanks and they're half dead, so that's not going to happen. Blues, like he's not even scouting. They've got full coverage. Oh, he's sort of scouting. He's after this gap, I guess, so they can use their air, and you can see the MiGs inbound. So that's hopefully no. So he just threw those tanks away, really, to keep pressure on red. Not bad. Red's pretty screwed though, so it might have made sense to hit that gap while you could see it, and just make Teal do a bit more work. But now Teal's got his gaps back up. Uh, Still no tech center. Cash situation still a bit slow, but he's a bit more on top of this congestion now. Over here, yeah, refineries and harvesters just humming along. Team Two's got a fair bit of cash. Yellow still with the lion's share of tank production, although now blue has caught up, and purple is now doing the same. So yeah, it's interesting battle. Keeping the pressure on red. This is really just hard to defend against. You need to get your AA out early. It's when you're reacting late in the game, it's near on impossible. His teammate here is trying to help him out, trying to spread these rockets out as best he can to get as most coverage and most effective fire, which is a good play from Green, but it is a losing cause. You know, he's got to defend his own base, let alone, and you know, he's devoted quite a few of his rockets to help Red here. And red largely done. They're just trying to skirt around with some tanks in sufficient numbers to deliver that knockout blow whilst not giving up the middle. And maybe now they're getting to that point. Yellow losing a few here, but he is taking out these helipads. And all, the whole time they've got tanks here, they're distracting green and red from covering the front, which is how they're getting more and more through. So, okay, red's packed up his MCV, which is good, but it's a risky move. If you're on the unit limit and you try and do that, it just disappears and you lose it. Red at least, I don't know if he knows that or whether he just noticed that tanks are building right now, but he has packed that up and he's crawled into his colleague's base here to stay in the game. Purple now moving down the back with a few. He might be able to get into Green's refineries, although Green's, I guess, one advantage of having your first war factory be the second choice where everything spawns is in this situation when they're in your back lines. You've got a bit of a force there ready to react. Whether he did that intentionally, I can't say. I know when I'm playing, I never leave anything back here apart from rockets, so hard to know. But either way, it's been effective. Purple's not really done any damage with these tanks. Hasn't gained any new information because this was all available on the GPS. But the air's moving in now, so they're just keeping green moving, keeping him busy, applying pressure. All three of the team, purple's tanks and yellow's tanks. Blue's really holding the middle, but then also blue and yellow working the air, all in combination. And it's just drawing green left, right, and centre. And he's really having trouble just keeping up with it. Although it might be worth engaging. They can win this little tank battle here, and then they've sort of got a free shot at some of these war factories. So yellow's gone for the war factory here, but he's going to lose most of his tanks. He might not even get the war factory. He's following this up with a bigger force that he's been a bit more conservative with and just inching that one forward just while he's focused on other battles. Purple's doing the same. Yellow's still streaming forward. Blue's pivoted down and he's just keeping teal and the southern entrance busy, which is good. He's losing tanks, but I guess while their cruisers are firing on him, they're not firing on yellow and purple, which is, just as good as from a team point of view. So yellow now, he's gathered that force. Again, he's ignoring tanks, going for the war factory, so he's at risk of losing a lot here. Might have made a little bit of sense just to engage some of those tanks. Okay, red has quit, or his MCV died, not 100% sure. Let's go back and find it. So what have we got? Where is his? Okay, his MCV is here, hiding in the shroud. So we'll just keep an eye on that. This battle, is about to develop as we were watching earlier. Green, just getting some pressure. Everything's fine over here. The Team 1 haven't been able to really do much to Team 2's core base. They've lost this sort of frontline naval battle. Although he's still got that build radius, he could crawl out if he wanted to apply a bit of pressure there. But Team 2 well in control at this point. So red, he did catch it all in time. He's got just enough to build a refinery and get back in the game. And I think I saw him he's got some harvesters. If he wanted to, he could have, maybe not consequentially, but just enough to be annoying. Every tank helps. Every target takes longer. Every unit you build is one less that they can build. Um, it is a zero sum game once you hit all the unit limits. So yeah, it's you never know. You never know why some people they quit. I don't know. I think back in action, he's a half decent player, but he's still sort of learning a little bit. And I know when I was same with me when I was new on this map, I would give up after the first major battle because it seemed clear. Okay, he did end up just quitting. But then over time, watching other playing with good players and watching replays, I saw just how you can fall back. So Green has got a bit of a line out here, and with his core base all back here, and Teal, they can still defend this for a while. Although with the air, that's what Red could have done is maybe just build air because yellow and blue, no matter what, well now purple as well, no matter how many aircraft they lose now, they're getting that full build order back. They're not losing any of it to this side of the map. And so they're just free to, suffer massive losses on the anti-air just to snipe at these refineries and war factories. So I suspect this is just a matter of time. Yeah, look, I mean, in the numbers they're streaming across now, just depends on how tidy they all want to be about it and how long Green and Teal want to hold on. See, these cruisers in here now. Okay, Green's just quit, but these cruisers, Yellow's now in range of those, so he's going to suffer some losses. Had he had to slowly work through these bases, one building by building, he would have been dying the whole time. And I mean, with the amount of tanks Green had, there was still quite a decent battle to play out here. Yellow, I mean, you can see, look, what's this, 5, 6 cruisers and a destroyer, and this whole force is nearly, of Yellows, is reduced significantly, and half of them are on, like, red hit health points, so always effective. A little bit indiscriminate, but when used on the right occasion, just devastating. You can see these cruisers and tanks here still just taking pot shots, but they're not under any real control. Blue's right in his base now. Okay, Teal did end up getting the tech center up again. Not sure when that happened. So, later in the game, when it's pretty obvious that the other team has given up on Navy, it's less risky to place there, but it is still within range. But I guess he just didn't want to put it back in the same area. So Yellow's choppers, just hitting that first building, moving straight to the second before flying home, although one of them did bail out for some reason. AA's just having a field day, although now Yellow has 15 infantry on the ground as Purple moves in and starting on the MCV. So good pivot from Purple in this game. He lost the Navy, but he switched priorities and really got back in it. And with the early tank pressure, I think, from Yellow to hold the middle and push the middle, that really bought them time for Purple to rebuild his economy and realign it. And Blue's early MiGs, I was maybe a bit critical of Blue's tanks, but I guess those MiGs did help in the mid game. Maybe not the early game. They were helping against the Navy, but they didn't really sway that battle. Whereas once they started targeting red with the air, as well as pushing red in the middle, that's when the tide started to turn. And of course, Yellow getting the GPS and when they took out Teal's refineries was also a key point. Teal would have been, yeah, just out of the game for a few minutes there while he dealt with that. And that's when Team Two started pushing on red, which was a good strategic move. Final must be on destroy all, because naval yards don't count, and that is not his gap generator. So all the air's coming in, they're going after all the ships. If it is destroy all, that's just going to be really annoying because the cruisers are going to take multiple air sorties to and multiple V2 shots to die, and he can just be annoying with those if he chooses to. Although I can see from the replay time that he's going to quit in a moment. So there you go, quite the battle. Good game, everyone.